What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Becoming Roy podcast. I'm your host, Roy, and this show exists to help people discover who it is that they were made to do, to be, really. And I do that by sharing a little bit that I know, sharing my journey of becoming who it is I feel I'm made to be, and by having conversations with people that are living inspired lives. And today's episode, I'm going to be talking about, something that really just gets me fired up and is kind of the fuel for this whole thing, which I've been holding on to recently because I've actually been talking about the podcast a little bit more with people, because up until this point I haven't really told anybody, and I'm a little embarrassed about it for reasons that are mostly made up in my head, but that's what we're going to get into today. But before I do that, for anyone new, welcome. The premise of this show really, or kind of my guiding star, I guess, is really based around two goals that I've set for 2026. I do go over that in my guide to 2026 episode. So if you haven't listened to that, listen to that. Or really, if you haven't listened to anything, just start from the beginning. It's kind of cool to see the progression of mediocre, not great, to a little bit better-ish. I'm hoping, trying to get better a little bit with each episode. But in my guide to 2026, I pointed out two goals that I have, and it's really just to get healthy this year and to document it. Now, health is a broad word, and so the way that I'm defining health is in 6 different categories. I got mental, physical, spiritual, relational, financial, and vocational. In no particular order, I want to be healthy mentally. I want to be more healthy spiritually. I want to be healthy actually physically. I am on a journey of losing 100 pounds, and I am documenting the whole process, and I think I'm going to know. And I will be doing a premiere of it sometime next year. I actually have the date picked, but I just need to get some things solidified for that. But I want to, whatever, that's my physical health. Financial health, I want to be more responsible with the money that I have. Vocational, I want to be good at my job. Relational, I want to be a good friend. I want to be a good brother. I want to be a good grandson. And so that's like kind of been what's been shaping the content of these episodes and of this show. And so like, what do I find inspirational is like, yeah, if you're doing, the thing you feel like you're made to do, but it's probably going to be in one of those 6 categories. So that's just a little bit to help frame. And I'm excited because I'm seeing growth in a lot of these areas. And I won't get too into it in this episode, but specifically in the spiritual health, man, I don't know what's been happening, but I feel new, if that makes any sense. I've just been feeling really tender and just excited about that, but really excited about a lot of these things. I'm excited about health. And I'm kind of fighting my own demons a little bit because I have this preconceived notion, or I just have these, I'll call them what they are, insecurities in my head and embarrassment about what I'm doing. But like, I'm excited. I'm excited about health, and I'm excited to share. And that leads me to this lesson that I was fortunately taught when I was, in high school, 16, 17, 18. And it stuck with me my entire adult life. And it's actually on my sweater. I don't know if you can really see that. It says Born to Win. Shout out sis for making this for me. I have it tattooed onto my wrist, and it's a phrase that my father would tell me growing up. You're born to win. And I am competitive. My whole family is pretty competitive. So yes, there is like the competitive edge to it. I mean, I really hate losing. I really hate losing more than I like winning, if that tells you anything at all. But the phrase isn't necessarily about competition. My father would always tell us we were born to win. He would have us say, you're born to win. And what he would expound upon it was that there is a fight. Whatever you subscribe to, there is something out there that is going to try and stop you from doing, being, and becoming the person that you were made to be. I think that we all have a gift inside of us. I'm telling you, this is really what is kind of the fuel and gets me fired up for this, is that there's something inside of each of us. There's a gift inside of each of us something that we need to get out, that the world needs. You know, my hope is that this podcast helps one person, two people. And I've already had conversations with people that are getting benefits from it. Awesome. That's great. My podcast is maybe your song. It's maybe your book. Maybe it's your education. And there's going to be things, circumstances, whatever, that is going to try to stop you from doing the thing that you were made to do and being the person that you were made to be. And you were born to win that fight. Let that sink in. And in the midst of trials and tribulations, I feel like I kind of hate that phrasing, but in the midst of hardship, you were made to win that. Because I believe personally, whatever, I don't know what you subscribe to spiritually, but I do believe in God. I'm a Christian. There's a lot there. Listen to my episode on why I hate God. That was such a clickbait title, but watch that to have a better understanding of my experience with organized religion. But what I believe is that God has made each and every person with something inside of them that they were made to do. And I think that is like beautiful and sacred almost, if I can use that word. Now, in my religious experience, in the way that I brought up, I know a lot of people that would give up some of those dreams to pursue ministry or what they think God was calling them to do. And I think there absolutely is a time and place for that, for laying down what you want. But I think I actually maybe more subscribe to the idea that that thing that you want to do was actually put there by God. And it's actually how he made you. So some of you really want to be a musician. I just keep saying that because I love music. But it's funny to me that I love music, but I don't really feel that like itch or draw or conviction to actually release music. I actually have never completed writing a song in my entire life. But that's just an example that I'm thinking of. You know, for some of you, it's education. Some of you are in school or you want to do something that's going to require 7, 8, 9 years of schooling. And it's just this thing inside of you that's like, that's what I feel like I really want to do. I mean, we can even use the word want, really want to do. And I think that's actually okay. And I think that's actually great. And I think actually maybe God put that in your heart to do. So you should do it. And it's something that I don't think we can quite explain to other people. And my example here is this silly, stupid little podcast. I've wanted to do one for as long as I can remember, and I did my first episode in 2020. And here we are, 2026, and it's something that I haven't been able to shake and that I still want to do, and I still feel a conviction. And really, it's not the podcast. Really, it's that I feel like I am supposed to help people discover who it is that they were made to be. I'm supposed to help encourage people to be the person that they feel they're made to be. And I have this like just thing inside of me that I can't get away from, and it keeps drawing me back. And this right here is just a vehicle to do that. But this is kind of a second point to this lesson that I've learned a little bit later in my adult life, that I actually learned in therapy. Shout out my therapist. Is that those things, maybe right now they don't look the way that I want to, but I think it's actually there. Stay with me now. Think of the statue of David in wherever in Italy it is, or France, whatever. Beautiful marble statue that was once a slab of marble. Now that beautiful, priceless statue was in the block of marble the entire time. Nothing was added. Things were only taken away with precision, chiseling, mapping out, intentionality, thoughtfulness, careful crafting. And that once block of stone is now a priceless piece of art. Now, what I had learned is that the person that I want to be, the person I feel like I'm supposed to be, emphasis on the word be, anti-focus on the word do, more focus on who I am, is already there. And so I think, I don't know. I don't know if that's hitting at all, but for me, that kind of changed my mind. And what my therapist had told me that kind of turned the lights on for me is that person that I want to be. So like I have this like dream, I'm debating if I want to share this, whatever. In the light of vulnerability, I'm just going to share a dream that I've had since I was 13. Okay. When I was 13 years old, my father took me to this like business leadership convention thing. It was insane. It absolutely changed my life. I remember being 13, 8th grade, Cincinnati, Ohio. It's called Transformational Leadership with like Henry Ford. I probably talked about this. I get the name mixed up because I get like the Model T car Ford guy mixed up with whatever this guy's name, whatever. They were consultants for the Walton family. It was like, I can't believe that I was in a room with these people, and it was great. Anyways, we were talking, it's all round table discussions as we went through the seminar, and somebody at our table that my father and I were talking to said we were talking about wanting, like my dad and I like to play basketball. And so they're like, oh, you should go play basketball at this community center. I don't really know what the connection was. He gave us the keys to the community center. After the afternoon session, my father and I went to the community center, and it was awesome. It was super cool. It was a beautiful building. They had like a cafe, and then they had like Xbox and the Wii and foosball tables, pool tables. They had like all this stuff. They had a big gym, basketball courts. They had a closet filled with Nerf guns, and it was just like the place to be. And I remember leaving, and I mean, I think about this weekly, being like, wow, I want to start a community center one day. I want to be a place where people can come after school, hang out. You can get help with your homework. I want to help people with their resumes. I want to hold job fairs and college fairs. I want to, bring in recruiters, help people, just like whatever. You know what I'm saying? What is it that I wish that I had? And then do that for people. And I want to host open gyms, and I want to help people, bring in people to help with taxes and provide therapists for people in the community, whatever. A community center. This isn't a revolutionary idea. This happens in your city somewhere. And I was like, that's what I want to do. And for some reason at 13 years old, that seed was planted, and that's just what I thought of. And so that's been my dream as long as since I was 13. So for the last, 15 years. And 5 or 6 years ago, I was sharing this with my therapist, and my therapist said, Roy, you are already the community center. It might not look tangibly the way that I'm imagining or the way that I want, because I don't have a building and I don't have a lot of money to help people, and I don't X, Y, and Z. But she then began to tell me, but you do this. And I was working with students at the time. Best job ever. Missed those kids that are now adults, which is wild. And like some of them, I was their like reference on college applications. I was the reference for scholarships they're applying for jobs. And I would help people. I would help the students with, I don't know, whatever. I would take their pictures for their dances. Just like whatever I could do, I would do for them. And the point isn't Roy would do these things for people. The point is, when I was 13 years old, I had this idea and dream that hasn't died of wanting to help people and care for people, that the unheard would feel heard, that the unseen would feel seen, that the unloved would feel loved. And subconsciously, I've tried to live my life in that way. I try to ask questions. I try to be available. I try to help. I try to whatever. And so my therapist was able to hold up a mirror to me and said, hey, you are the community center right now, today. That kind of changed my life. And then not long after that, I'm taking credit of the thinking about the David as a block of stone and being carved out. I mean, I know that wasn't an original thought, but that's when that connected. It's like, oh, that statue was inside the whole time. And when you think about carving out a statue, there's lots of chiseling. There's lots of taking away. It's lots of time. Precision, intentionality. I said these words already. So for you, listener, viewer, friend, what is that thing inside of you that you can't get away from? It keeps coming back. Some of you have been sitting on the same damn project and the same idea for 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 years. And you can't get away from this idea. That is me with this damn podcast. That's me with sharing anything. It's that I've had this dude, I don't even want to call it dream because it sounds so dumb, but I've had this dream of helping inspire people by using a gift that I hope to have in communication and seeing people and helping them do the thing they feel they're made to do. And I can't let it go. And I keep coming back to it. And it's silly. And it's this and it's that. And X, Y, A, B, C, D, all the way to Z, like all of these things. But I can't shake it. And there's something inside of you that is the same way. But don't forget the second part of the idea. The chiseling. The taking away. The intentionality. So, as you think about that thing, some of you have already been thinking about it, and you probably stopped paying attention in the last 30 seconds because you're thinking about the project that you have been thinking about that you haven't released, the book you haven't written, the place you haven't moved, whatever. But I need you to now begin to approach life with intentionality. And I need you to begin to chisel away at the things that need to be chiseled away from. The show is called Becoming Roy. This whole thing is about becoming. That's the whole idea. But that plus, like, it's already there. Okay? But what practical, tangible, intentional steps do you need to take to be the person that you want to be? You know, I talked about this when I reviewed my first episode from 2020, a couple episodes ago. Well, we asked the question, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? Dude, I'm trying to not cuss. I almost said, okay, forget that. Wow, that's growth. Forget asking the question, what do you want to do? Because 9 times out of 10, the person that you want to be is going to require doing something that you don't want to do. So get a North Star, okay? Get some tangible buckets. Get some direction. And get your gift out there. That's the thing that my dad would tell me. He would actually take us to the cemetery, and he would say, this is the richest place on the earth because this is where businesses that ideas that were had didn't come out. You know, books that were to be written didn't get written. You know, conversations that were supposed to be had weren't had, like whatever. So don't let your dream go to the grave. And I don't remember if this was my dad or someone else that said this to me, but you actually, I think you owe the world that gift. I think that might be why you're here, is to do the damn thing. So, just remember, regardless of whatever excuse you can throw at me, whatever circumstance, remember that you were born to win. You're born to win the fight that is fighting for your destiny, that is fighting for the person that you were made to be. And so with that, as always, control what you can control. Make it a great day, and I'll see you on the next one.